Hello everybody, and welcome to my shop. Glad to have you here with me. Check this piece of wood out. That is actual firewood from a bundle. I chopped that in half to use it as kindling and saw that figure, and oh my goodness. So I've been saving that up since last winter and finally came up with a project for it. So needless to say, this isn't going to be a normal wood turning video. I'm going to make some knife scales. And I'll be using firewood. Imagine that. And I'm not a blacksmith, so I'm going to use this nice little knife kit. And the first thing I need to do is figure out the length of the scales that I need to make and make sure this piece of wood's going to work. And then I'll mark out the length on the piece of wood. Try to find the best grain that's visible. You see me marking here, but I don't use that mark for the cut. I actually measured from the other side, from right to left, because it was a little bit wider, and I cut there instead. And all I'm doing here is making it flat so that the scales are more even when I cut them on the bandsaw. And now they're nice and flat, sanded to 150 grit. And my next step is to cut some veneer so I can add some accent pieces in between the knife tang and the scales. I'm using maple and black walnut veneer, and I'll be using 2 pieces of each on either side of the tang. I added about 45 pounds of weight and let that sit overnight. I've got the tang outlined on the scales there on that one side, and I've got the pins stuck in there so that the scales will remain true. And I've also got it marked a little bit wider than I need to, probably a 1/16 of an inch up to an 1/8 of an inch in some places. The worst thing I could possibly do right now is cut it too thin in relation to the tang. And now that the test fit is complete, what I'm doing is just making the scales a little bit more close to where I actually want them to be at the end. And then I'll go back to the bandsaw and trim off some more. Still leaving the wood proud. All the final adjustments will be with the sander, or by hand sanding. So I've got to do the finish sanding on the areas that are going to be too close to the blade or against the metal, because I won't be able to do it once the scales are attached. I'll be attaching the scales to the tang with 5-minute epoxy, which I will let set for about 12 hours before I get back to work. And that's going to be the finger groove on either side, and also of course I'll bevel and round everything just to make it comfortable. So as you saw, I used the belt sander on the bigger areas that I had access to, but I'll be using the Dremel for all the bevels and for the finger grooves. and then I'll follow up with hand sanding from 220 all the way up to 1000 grit. Well, I couldn't see the figure in this wood anymore, but I thought maybe this stained Danish oil would do the trick. And my goodness, did it ever. That's what I was hoping for. Gorgeous figure. So much movement. Holographic. Just amazing. I followed up with some axe polish to finish this off. I have to say I'm pretty happy with this. Let me know what you think. And here's some food for thought for you. Look it up. It's important. Thanks for watching, everybody. And I want to thank all of my new subscribers and welcome everybody aboard. And of course, thanks to all my old subscribers as well. I appreciate each and every one of you. God bless, and Semper Fi.